From Byfleet to the Bush, an autobiography by Jacqueline Pearce. Chapter 1. Byfleet. I loved my life in Byfleet. No, I didn't. I loved Byfleet, not the life I lived there. I was born in Woking, Surrey on December 20th, 1943, and brought home to Queen's Avenue in Byfleet, which in those days was a small country village. Our avenue was lined with chestnut trees, so my parents, who were not known for their originality, named the house Chestnuts, and there I remained for the first 17 years of my life. My mother didn't, but more about that later. At the bottom of our garden was a large field, in the centre of which was a perfectly manicured, emerald green cricket pitch, where men dressed in pristine whites would play on drowsy Sunday afternoons. I loved the cricket field. In summer it would be carpeted with celandines, buttercups and daisies, which I would weave into chains and place on my head and around my neck. All the houses on our side of the avenue had gardens, with gates at the bottom that opened onto the field, enabling neighbours to chat together and children to play. Cowboys and Indians was a great favourite, but being the only girl in my peer group, I was always the lone Indian, captured and bound to a tree, while Anthony Wand, Jeremy Bean and John Bragg fired my arrows at me. I still have a small scar on my right eyebrow, a reminder of the time when Ant got lucky. In order to gain admission into their gang, I had to squeeze a bunch of stinging nettles and not make any sound at all. In the autumn we played in the avenue, as the chestnut trees filled the street with russet-coloured leaves, in which we could hide and roll around, flinging great armfuls at each other, and shed huge, shiny conkers which we threaded onto lengths of string, and had glorious conker fights. When I look back on my childhood, I am very aware of the comfort I received from nature, and the feel of the late 1940s and early 50s. I can still recall the sense of clover and huge red roses, their velvety petals heavy with morning dew, wild narcissi, bluebells and lily of the valley, the aroma of burning leaves and wood smoke as the melancholy of autumn hovered in the still air. My favourite season was, and remains, winter. Jack Frost leaving intricate patterns on the inside of my bedroom window, sheets frozen on the washing line as dusk descended, snowmen with cold noses and clay pipes, whose jolly daytime demeanour became slightly sinister as night began to fall. More than anything I loved snow, its ability to transform all that was familiar into a fairy tale world of magic, mystery and overwhelming beauty. I came home from school one December afternoon. It was dusk and had snowed heavily all day. I ran down the garden to the cricket field, pushed open the gate, and entered a magic world. A blood-red sun was setting in a darkening sky. The bare branches of the trees were rimmed with silver frost. The cricket pavilion, now the palace of the Snow Queen, and the snow before me still in its virgin state. I wanted to stay in that world of beauty forever. I raised my 4-year-old arms to the setting sun and ran towards it. I believed I could fly, that I was part of all that surrounded me, protected me, and claimed me as its own. I loved sweets, and when rationing finally ended in the mid-50s, I feasted on Rolos, Maltesers, Mars bars and Smarties. I haunted the sweet shops in the village with their large glass jars containing
Sample complete. Ready to continue?